Hey guys, I hope you're all having a good evening. I wanted to go ahead and do a standing liberty quarter tutorial here for all of you guys who dig them and want need some help identifying certain ones, or if you're a collector or whatever the reason is. There's some different things to look at with the standing liberty quarters. So I'll go ahead and get right at it here. These two are coins that I had. I did not find these metal detecting. It's not easy finding standing liberty quarters metal detecting. This one I did find metal detecting today. And let me start out by saying in 1917, or I should say, let's start out. The standing liberty quarters, they started making them in 1916. And for those of you who know a lot about coins, they also made barber quarters in 1916. Toward the end of 1916 is when they started making the standing liberties, and they only made a few of the 1916s. So the 1916 standing liberty quarters, especially in decent shape, easily go for thousands and thousands of dollars. So this is one thing you're going to want to check if you dig a really worn standing liberty quarter, and I'll also show you some other things to look for. But first off, in 1917, the United States Mint changed the design of the quarters for this reason right here. This is a 1917. Here it's zoomed there, which is in really, really good shape. And one of the main reason that they redid the coin was there was a lot of controversy of Liberty's breast being uncovered. So that's literally why they made the change. You can see here how they have the drapery, the one breast is showing. So you only see that on 1916 and 1917 Variety 1 coins. They did make both designs in 1917. And, well, the same design as the other one, so you'll see what the other one looks like. But this is what a 1917 Type 1 looks like. There's not much of a difference in the design, but there are definitely some differences. So that's a 1917. And I'll compare it to one of the Type 2 coins, and you'll see the difference in the back here. The way they have the stars running along the side. They also have the stars running along on the side of the Type 2, but there's not as many. And also, the main thing you're going to look for, the easiest way to tell, as you can see on the Type 2s, there are 3 stars underneath the eagle, whereas on the Type 1 there are no stars under the eagle. Now, sometimes you can identify the date on a dateless standing liberty quarter, like this one I found today. You can see the date area. It is 100% slick. There's no pieces of any number showing to even come close to giving it an ID. So you do the first test, the 1917 Type 1, you're looking to see if there's any stars underneath. There's no stars underneath the eagle, even though it's very worn. You can tell that's one of the last parts of these coin that wears is on the bottom there. So that tells me that this quarter right here is either a 1916 or a 1917. So I mean, wow, if this is a 1916, even in this condition, it's still going to be worth close to $1,000. There are many different ways you can tell, but a lot of them are very, very hard to look and to see. One of the ways you can see here is the little tail here on Liberty's hair. There's actually 2 of them there. It's really hard to see because the coin's worn. But if there's only one, there's a chance it's a 16. But the easiest way to identify, which isn't a foolproof way, but the easiest way to identify if it's a 1916 with the design changes they made, right here, you see how worn the coin is. You can still see kind of like the beaded dots around the shield. If you can see those, that is a bad sign. That's going to tell you it's a 1917. Because on the 1916 design, these beads were raised up, had a higher relief. So when they were in circulation a lot longer, they would wear off. So because this coin does not have the stars on the back, and because I can see the beaded shield here, that tells me it's a 1917 and not a 1916. So still a pretty cool way to get a date. Now this 1921, it's the Type 2, And you can see down here, and this is what I want to show you. You have to look at date patterns. If there's not much of a date visible, yes, if I get in real close here, you can kind of tell that that's a 1921. But there was only one standing Liberty quarter made with a 1 at the end of the date. So even if you take away all this, if you pull a quarter out of the ground or see one in your collection and the date's almost completely gone, but you even see the bottom part of the stick of where a 1 would be, it doesn't matter how minuscule it is, that's going to tell you that it's a 1921 quarter. And this is one quarter I got a really good deal on. On eBay, there was a person, or I should say a company, that was doing a lot of estate liquidation, and they were scanning coins in large quantities, throwing the pictures up and just letting them go to the highest bidder. And I searched through their auctions for a long time. They were selling coins for a long time, and once in a while I got an amazing deal because they didn't do a good job with the pictures. And if you know what you're looking for, you can pick stuff out. I was able to see part of this 1 in the picture, in a very blurry picture. I bought it in a set of maybe 40 other quarters, and I noticed that this was something special. I was able to pick up the lot of quarters for just over melt, and this quarter alone, in this condition, it's got a value. I would say I could probably sell this with not too much trouble for about $450. So that was one of my better finds, which was nearly all profit. That just goes to show you just the minor details and the minor things to look for on coins. The more you learn about them, the more you're going to know when you find them what you have. That way, if you go to sell them, you can get top dollar. You know what you have, or even if you don't sell them, it's fun just to know what you have. But I hope that tutorial helps you guys out a little bit. If you have any questions about any standing Liberty quarters or ones you have, and you want me to take a look at them, you just send me a picture. I'll try my best to help you ID it. And hopefully soon here I'm going to do a little tutorial on Indian head cents and maybe some other coins. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video.